Euro Bangla City SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Prime Minister left Dhaka for UK and France today on a 2-week visit to attend 26th UN Climate Change Conference. CID arrested 6 people for questioning in connection with disappearance of 16 imported documents of Health Ministry. School students will be vaccinated tomorrow with US-made Pfizer vaccine, said Health Minister. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left Dhaka this morning for the United Kingdom and France on a 2-week visit to attend the 26th UN Climate Change Conference of the parties COP26 and other events. The VVIP flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage departed Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport at 9:27 a.m. The flight is scheduled to land at Glasgow International Airport in Scotland at 2:45 p.m. local time. During the visit, Hasina will attend the Bangladesh Investment Summit and hand over UNESCO Bangladesh Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman International Prize for the Creative Economy. Besides, she will hold bilateral meetings with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and French President Emmanuel Macron, apart from other heads of state and government. On November 1st, Hasina will address the key segment of the COP26, apart from joining the opening ceremony. However, she will focus on Rohingya crisis during the meeting at the summit. Due to ferry crisis, long queue of vehicles have formed on the 7-kilometer road at Daulatdia in Goaland, one of the gateways of the southwestern part of the country. The number of the cargo trucks waiting for the show is increasing. As a result, the truck drivers and their assistants are facing problems of food, bath and toilet under the open sky. The transportation cost is also increasing due to not being able to transport goods on time. Today, a series of freight trucks was seen on queue about 4 kilometers at the Daulatdia End Road. Besides, about 3 kilometers on the Goaland Junction Road, 14 kilometers away from the Ghat. Vaccination of school students is starting from tomorrow. The vaccine will be given to school and college students between the ages of 12 and 18. The school students will be vaccinated with a US-made Pfizer vaccine as it is suitable for them, said Health Minister. The new campaign against COVID-19 will kick off at 12 centers in Dhaka on November 1st. Some 40,000 students will be vaccinated every day under the campaign. Earlier on October 14th, some 112 students of 4 government schools in Manikganj were vaccinated with Pfizer jabs as part of a test run of the government for vaccinating school students against COVID-19. CID's crime scene unit today has arrested 6 people for questioning in connection with the disappearance of 16 important documents of the Health Education Department of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Earlier, the unit went to the Secretariat in the morning to investigate the incident. A general diary has already been filed at Shahbag Police Station in the capital over the incident. In addition, the Ministry of Health has formed a 3-member investigation committee. Now sports news. Cricketer Nasir Hussain and his wife Tamima Sultana Tami, a cabin crew of Saudi Airlines, have been granted bail in a case filed over tying knot with another man's wife without gathering a divorce. They surrendered in the court of Dhaka Metropolitan Magistrate Mohammad Joshim on October 31st, Sunday, and applied for a bail. Following the hearing, judge granted them bail. Earlier on September 30th, 3 people, including cricketer Nasir Hussain and his wife Tamima Sultana, were summoned to appear in court on October 31st. The other accused is Tamima's mother, Shumi Akhtar. Viewers are taking a short break. Stay with Euro Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back. You're watching Euro Bangla City SATV News. Now international news. Leaders of the world's 20 biggest economies have endorsed a global minimum tax of 15% on big multinational businesses. They will formally adopt the new rules at the continuing G20 summit in Rome today. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, who is in the Italian capital for the discussions, hailed the tax deal as a game changer. Here at the G20, leaders representing 80% of the world's GDP allies and competitors alike made clear their support for a strong global minimum tax, Biden said in a tweet on Saturday. The tax rules, part of the reform plan inked by almost 140 nations, will make it harder for multinational corporations, including giants like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft or Apple, from avoiding taxation by establishing offices in low-tax jurisdictions. However, the rules will also aim to put an end to decades of tax competition between governments to attract foreign investment. Delegates from about 200 countries will be there to announce how they will cut emissions by 2030 and will help the planet. With the world warming because of fossil fuel emissions caused by humans, scientists warn that the urgent action is needed to avoid a climate catastrophe. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that the summit will be the world's moment of truth. Speaking before of the two-week conference, he urged leaders to make the most of it. The question everyone is asking is whether we seize this moment or let it slip away. Day one will see a report on the state of the climate released by the World Meteorological Organization, WMO. The WMO's provision report by climate scientists will compare global temperature this year so far with previous years. Extreme weather events linked to climate change, including heat waves, flood, and forest fires, are intensifying. The past decade was the warmest on record, and governments agree urgent collective action is needed. Meanwhile, Sudanese security forces shot dead 3 people Saturday during mass protests against the country's recent military coup, medics said. The shootings came despite repeated appeal for the West to Sudan's new military rulers to show restraint and allow peaceful protest. Pro-democracy groups were called for protest across the country to press demand for the reinstating and disposing transitional government and releasing senior political figures from detention. The demonstrations were called by the Sudanese Professional Association and the so-called resistant committees. They demand the dismantling of the now ruling military council led by Burhan and the handover of the government to civilians. They also seek the dismantling paramilitary groups and reconstruction of the military, intelligence and security agencies. They want officers loyal to al-Bashir to be removed. Voting kicked off in Japan's general election on Sunday, with Prime Minister Fumio Kishida hoping to win over a pandemic fatigued public with spending promises as his long-ruling conservatives seek a fresh start. Kishida became leader of the Liberal Democratic Party a month ago after Yoshihide Suga resigned just a year into the job, partly due to public discontent over the response to the COVID-19 crisis. Following a record wave of infections that pushed the Tokyo Olympics behind closed doors, cases have now plummeted and most restrictions have been lifted. While this way eased some voters' frustration, the LDP, which has held power almost continuously since the 1950s, is likely to lose seats and may have trouble retaining its commanding majority, analysts say. Kishida, 64, has pledged to issue a fresh stimulus package worth tens of trillions of yen to counter the impact of pandemic on the world's third largest economy. Taliban Supreme Leader Habibullah Akhundzada has made his first ever public appearance, officials announced Sunday, after he addressed supporters in the southern Afghan city of Kandahar. Akhundzada has been the spiritual chief of the Islamist movement since 2016 but has remained a reclusive figure even after his group seized power in Afghanistan in August. His low profile has fed speculation about his role in the new Taliban government and even rumors of his death. On Saturday, he visited the Darul Uloom Hakima Madrasa to speak to his brave soldiers and disciples, said Taliban official. That was tight security at the event and no photographs or video have emerged, but a 10-minute audio recording was shared by Taliban social media accountants. Akhundzada, referred as the Amirul Mominin or commander of the faithful, gives a religious message. The speech did not touch on politics but sought God's blessing for the Taliban leadership. Before ending, we go to the Bangla City SATV news headline again. Prime Minister left Dhaka for UK and France today on a 2-week visit to attend 26th UN Climate Change Conference. CID arrested 6 people for questioning in connection with the disappearance of 16 important documents of Health Ministry. School students will be vaccinated tomorrow with US-made Pfizer vaccine, said Health Minister. We're up to date so far here on Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.